tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, hey.
That's right, Lamb. Let's get it in.
We got to, because it's late. We got to turn up so we don't fall asleep.
I know I would haven't played Jay-Z, but that would be appropriate.
Right, exactly. True. This works, though. I feel it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the AfterBuzz After Show for Mary Mary. We're about to get into Season 4, Episode 3, Hitched and Mitched. I'm your host, Ashida, Onrae, and with me, I got my boy, Lem.
What up, everybody? I'm Liam, and I'm going to stay awake tonight. And you can find me on social media at The Poet Saint, and that's on Twitter and Instagram. But I'm ready to get in the show.
You ready to get in the show? And you can find me everywhere on any social media at Ashida Onrae.
Yeah.
All right, so I know you wanted to talk about something at the top of the show, so let's get it in.
Oh, we're going to start? Okay.
Yes, let's do it.
Well, I just noticed over the course of these episodes we're in the 3rd episode with the season, and of course, this is on the heels of the breakup. We did see that there was an apology made by Teddy to Tina about his infidelity, and that was, a huge part of last season. It seems that in the period of time that they weren't taping or what have you in between seasons, that Tina went off and did a lot of things destructive-wise. And I noticed it seems like in each episode something else is revealed. So it was like the car. She tore up the car. It was also revealed that she demolished her ring, smashed it to pieces with a hammer. And then in this particular episode, we find out that she doesn't have any wedding pictures of her first marriage to Teddy because she ripped them all up. Of course, being angry about what happened. And she said in her BC days before Christ. So that's another thing that I was like, okay, before Christ, like, are you talking about how far before Christ? Like before, like when you weren't, and it sounded like she just really, and I know that when they, after the first episode, they kind of give you this season on, and they kind of go over the whole season. And I do remember her saying something about during this time, this dark period, with the whole Teddy situation going on, she said she kind of went off the deep end and she was doing a lot of things that were ungodly. And so I'm wondering, we'll probably get to this later on in the season, but it just seems like she really she really went through it and she had a tough time and she lashed out and she did all these destructive things.
Here's my take.
Okay.
I understand, but, and I'm going to ask you the question that I asked off the air. Have you been cheated on before? No, I haven't. Well, not that I know of. Not that you know.
Right.
So it will be safe to say that you don't know what it feels like to be cheated on.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
And it'll be safe to say you've never been married.
Correct.
Okay. So when you're married, it's even a deeper connection you have with your spouse.
Obviously.
Not that he had one indiscretion or two, he had many.
Correct.
And he told her different times, okay, maybe not just one. Wait, I was just playing.
Right.
It was two. No, I'm just playing. It was three.
Horrible. Which was horrible.
Right. So you add all of that, you can't. It's a feeling that you can't even control. You're angry, you're hurt, you're devastated, you're betrayed. You have all these emotions coming at you at once like a wave. And for her not to put hands on him, for her not to put hands on anybody else or the women, she has to put hands on something. So it was the wedding pictures that reminded her of the vow that they took that he broke, the wedding ring that reminded her of the vow that they took that he broke, the car that, she probably gave him for a gift or something that had
that
somebody
part I heard
and
was,
had some chick in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly.
So it's justifiable to me. I can understand, that she was just on one. and I get it,
a couple.
I get it.
Right.
I get it. So, But she got through it, and it's just, and now it'd be an issue if there was something that she was always like that all the time.
Right.
But it was just a moment in time when everything came out that she was behaving that way. Now, outside of that, she has admitted that she wasn't on her best behavior during the marriage. But that was all last season. We got into it, you know. So yeah, I'm not mad at her for it. I understand what you're saying, but I understand the feelings that she's feeling.
No, and I understand too, because I am, you know, I'm a man, and I understand that men and women are wired differently. However, I know that I would also, I have some sensitive tendencies.
Right.
So that being said, if I was cheated on, especially in the covenant of marriage, I would be devastated. I know how I would feel. And so I would be devastated. I'm not going to say I would do those type of things, but I would definitely be very, very hurt. She obviously, like you said, needed to get out. She didn't put hands on, that we know of, didn't put hands on Teddy, didn't put hands on these women or whatever. So that's how she had to get her. I guess my thing is the things that, the car situation, whatever. But like the ring and the pictures, I understand that you were upset, but those are memorable things. And obviously she now that they're back together, and they're, you know, of course in this episode they reunite their vows, which was very beautiful and very, you know, I appreciated that. It's like she can't take that back. So it's almost like it was very, I guess, premature in a way, because it's like she did it as if like they were never going to get back together. That, I mean, and again, it's in a fit of rage or a fit of being upset or being hurt. You do that, but it's just like there's other things you could destroy, I guess is what I'm thinking. You could destroy a chair or a table or something that isn't as precious as, but you did make a good point about the pictures, is that it reminded her of the covenant that they made that he broke. So therefore I'm going to destroy that because I don't have a reminder.
Right.
So I just, when I heard that, I'm like, man, what else? You know,
Right.
But then of course she said, and again, we haven't got to that episode yet, but I do remember her saying that she did some things that she's not proud of because she just really lost it. You know, she lost it in these moments, or however long this period lasted.
Yeah, and you know, I don't blame her. That's I'm all for her
doing what she did.
I understand it.
Yeah.
Is that what Chris Rock said?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Right.
I understand. I understand. All right. So well, since we're talking about, let's get into the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the wedding. I love the dress. I love everything, and I love the vows. I love them singing. I like
that they did their own song. I mean, Teddy didn't sing, he lip sync, but he's not the singer that, you know, of course, Tina is. She sang live. But I thought it was dope that they had their own songs that they sang to one another. So it was definitely catered to them, not just picking out a song. I love that their daughter sang. I thought that was dope. Layla, she sang, and just how it incorporated the family. Like the kids were standing there with him, like while she was walking down the aisle, and he said like she was so beautiful. Like it took his breath. And I guess for me, like I'm such a hopeless romantic. Keyword hopeless, but it's, I think it's so dope. I think it's so dope. Obviously, they got out of what they went through with the whole infidelity, and they're getting back together, which I think just shows a lot for both of them on both ends. But the fact that after however many years they've been together, 17 or I can't remember the number, but all the years they've been together and been married, and that he still feels that way, like she still takes his breath away after all this time. You know, I think that's dope. I think that's so amazing. Like I can't wait for that to happen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just saying.
I loved it too, and I love the fact that they endure, because sometimes when you're going through that thick of a valley, and you really get to see what happens when you work through it, and you stick it through, what comes out on the end. But you never know when you go, okay, you know what? Forget it. I don't want to be with you. You cheated. I'm out. So that part I thoroughly enjoyed. And I was like, wow, yeah, her dress was beautiful too.
The dress was really nice.
Now, you know, speaking of that, let's get into what I really want to talk about on the wedding is Mitch.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, what? First of all, you know, and I'm going to read some of the comments once we get to Erica, but why invite him? I get that you're this new person. I get that, you know, you forgave your husband or whatever, but why make everyone else uncomfortable? Why invite him?
Yeah, honestly, And
why was Mitch on one?
Right, he was really
I mean,
on
we got a lot to talk about here.
I think, well, to start off, I do think part of that was a show tactic because that was going to create, obviously, drama. And the fact that he was on one as opposed to being civil, you know, especially with Erica, because it seemed like it started off when he was talking to his wife. And how he was like, yeah, and he was going in basically.
On Gugu.
He was going in on Gugu.
Yeah.
He was going in on Erica. I mean, he was just basically, he was going in on everybody.
So he needed a storyline.
Right. And so, and then when he gets with Erica, then of course he goes in again. Like he was almost like, I'm ready.
Right.
And even when he saw Gugu, you know, he's like, you know, he's there and he's like, we gonna be civil or we gonna, you know, because if she had something to say, he best believe he was gonna get in.
Right.
So now I was surprised also in all of that because of how Warren had been acting like, you know, he come close to you, you know, I might need to lay his hands on him. And the fact that he was like, yeah, I need to talk to you privately. I didn't think Warren was gonna stand for that. He did let that happen, but that's why I think that a lot of that was for the sake of the show.
Right.
I think that it was like, okay, we need something here. Let's put this together and see what happens.
However,
I
think Warren's a little smarter than that. He has too much to risk.
As far as
really putting his hands on Mitch, you're gonna risk my block. You're gonna risk.
You're talking about him suing or
yes,
whatever.
I still think that he's a little smarter, even though that's where I know. I get it. You want to take it to the streets.
Right.
I'm all for that. I understand it. But
Right.
sometimes you can't because you built too much. You got an empire right now. And so anybody is waiting at any given moment, especially probably Mitch because he was suing them just to take them down.
Well, yeah. So but also, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No problem.
But also, I think, but the fact, and maybe he did and it was cut, but I thought he was at least going to say something. Like, he didn't say anything. Like, it seemed like he just kind of like was, hey, what's up, guys? And kind of give the little awkward, little nasty hug and what's up and da-da-da-da. They both can't stand each other. And then how they kind of walked and he's like, hey, Erica, let me just talk to you. Let me, you know.
Right.
And then he just says nothing. That's what I think. Like, I'm not expecting him to whoop him because, yeah, like you said, like he's lawsuit happy, so of course he's gonna do that. And then, you know, there's a lot of other stuff because Mitch, at the end of the day, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. So I think some of that was for that's just my opinion. I think some of that was for the sake of the show and to have a storyline and kind of reintroduce because Mitch came back in, but there's another way to tie him in to bring him back as a character on the show. So, but I thought the conversation, I thought he was definitely on one. He was just being just really out of pocket. Like he was
being out of pocket
when he was talking about, and I think even with going back to your original question about like why invite him, I think that, you know, how she said he was kind of on the bottom of the list and then Warren's mom, like, oh, my assistant made a mistake. And, you know, we put him on and she was like, oh, no, I'm good. I think that she is turning over new leaf. I don't think at all what he was saying to Erica as far as like she, you know, him representing Tina and her, how I thought all that was garbage.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a way for him to get under Erica's skin completely.
Right.
It was like to get back at her.
But why?
Because he's mad at what he did.
Right,
He's mad of him being, he's still holding a grudge.
Right.
He's holding a grudge for being fired on. He's holding a grudge for being talked about. He's holding that grudge. You know, because if you think about it, he brings up the album. Well, three number one albums. And she's like, well, how many they sold? They're number one. You know, like he goes back to that.
Right.
So he's hurt, and financially too, because it cost him money.
Right.
Now he's not working with them. They're still doing well in the gospel industry. And now with her solo career, if he was still on board, he would have been her manager. So he would have been in that paper too. So he lost out. And so he's upset. And it was basically a way like, I can't do anything to you, but kind of just put you down. So I'm going to go to this wedding. I really think it was an ulterior motive. He got invited. He was the first one to RSVP. When he got invited.
But see, that's my thing. Why would Tina invite? Because I feel like she went back to her old ways a little bit.
With what?
With, okay, I invited Mitch, deal with it. That's a little bit of old Tina right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not looking out for everybody else and, you know, putting your family first. So you don't want Erica to go away.
Right.
Because she needs to deal with the fact that you're getting married, but you want her to deal with the fact that Mitch is invited.
Right.
There's no give and take there. To me, that's what I seen.
Well, and
what I see a little bit.
But she did, like she said it, like in true Tina fashion. She's like, "This is my wedding. I'm going to invite who I want to invite, but also I want my family there. And if you're not there, then there's a problem."
Right.
So she's just basking in the fact that this is her day. It's just like the whole album thing. It's like, God gave me these songs. I need to put it out, but I want to put it out how I want to put it out.
Right.
So yeah, she's made changes as far as like how she views things, but she's still Tina.
She's still Tina.
She's still Tina. Come on now. She's still Tina. That's Tina. She's going to do that.
And speaking of that, you know, we were asking questions about, do you think that Tina is jealous of Erica? And, you know, we had a lot of comments coming back, even to the point where it's like, well, why would you think that? You know, they're sisters. But it's just that we look at various viewpoints. And we just want to get your thoughts and opinions. It's not that, you know, we are actually saying it. We're just looking at it in different ways and just want to hear your voice. We love our audience. We love our fans. And we just want to hear what you have to say. It's not like, you know, we're being mean about it, saying, well, she's jealous of her.
Sure, sure.
So, but a lot of people responded. And I got one from Trina Tubman, who says, my sister and I are 1 year apart and people have always compared us. My girls are 2 years apart and I welcome their individuality. Tina isn't jealous of Erica. She's excited for her when she's at Erica's performances. She's the one screaming the loudest. Sometimes we're used to something. It's hard to say goodbye even when you're happy for your partner. But they're sisters first. And then there's some who feel like, well, you know, maybe there is a little bit of jealousy, and that's why Tina's going so hard to push her project and then what she wants to do. So there's, you know, various opinions on it, but, you know, please continue to, you know, give us comments, and I read every single one. So moving on to Erica. Question for you. You know, I love questions.
Yes, you do.
And questions for the audience as well, the viewers, excuse me. Do you think Erica is putting her career ahead of family?
I think that Erica is promoting her career and she's doing what it takes to be successful. When the decision came up and she was talking with Warren about, you know, going in between doing this show with Joe, that was going to be, you know, a great look for her. It was, you know, #1 urban radio. It was outside the gospel realm, gave her a different audience that she could reach versus the whole family. She was saying, you know, kind of going back and forth, and Warren was saying, look, there has to be a time where some of those are having to be negated when it comes to family things. And I think that when you're in this industry and you are successful, you do miss some things because you're grinding, because you're trying to be successful. And her being an artist, because they were always, you know, Mary Mary, they were together if they were performing.
Right.
So they didn't have to worry about missing each other's things.
Right.
So now would Tina do it? Well, just like Google said, no, absolutely not. If Tina had the same opportunity, Tina would be like, go away. I'm going to my sister's, whatever's going on.
Right.
But she also brought up a good point, even though she was in a bad place, is that she did miss when Erica had her christening. And that came up, and I thought that was a good point to make because that was important to Erica. Tina, yeah, she was going through it a little bit, but at the same time, she was like, I'm not going. You can't make me go because I need to deal with what I'm going through. So it's like, is it the same thing? Like Erica has this great opportunity that she can, you know, again, further her career. And Tina's like, no, you can't do it because such and such. You need to be here with me. I mean, I can see it being the same thing.
Well, I mean, and you know what? I agree with you on that. But I also think that it's an emotional. The other one where she was dealing with the failing of her marriage is an emotional to where you're not even in the right headspace. You're in the right headspace, right?
Sure,
As opposed to, oh, this is an amazing opportunity.
Right.
I'm gonna have to turn it down, but it's gonna come back around again.
Right.
You know, other opportunities are gonna come back around again.
Sure.
So I feel like I agree with you, but then again, I'm like, well, you know what? You're just not there.
I mean, it definitely is.
Because that was hard.
It's two different things. And even Erica said, well, yeah, she was not in the right, you know, when Warren brought it up. And I do agree with that because it's two different scenarios. I guess what I'm saying is going back to Miss Tina, if what Tina wants, she's going to do. And it's hard to sway her.
Exactly.
But it's a lot of do what I would want you to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Where Erica's more pliable and it's like, here's an opportunity. You would think like, Tina, like, okay, I've already been married. Yes, this is a special moment for me. But if you got it, girl, go get your paper. Girl, go get your career. Like, you know, all of these different things that you would think someone would support you in. But no, she's like, I don't care if they're paying you $1 trillion. Because
you need to be at my wedding.
You need to be at my wedding.
So that's my question. For all of those who have sisters, how would you feel? Would you be okay if your sister went ahead and went for her amazing opportunity, or does the sister or brother, you know, if you have a brother, has to be at your wedding or special event? Let me know what you think. I want to hear your thoughts, and we'll talk about it next week. I personally, my sister, she can go do the show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be upset.
No, absolutely. I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't be upset.
I wouldn't either, because again, I feel like if you are trying to, especially, you know, with the whole sake of, we're talking about careers now. This is your career. This is what you do. I would never hate on anyone's, you know, career or anything that's going to perpetuate them or put them to a higher status, or just basically help them further what they're doing. And I think with Tina, she doesn't think that way. Even when it was Mary Mary, and they had Mary Mary gigs that they could have done that would have helped, you know, or paid them well or whatever. Tina was always the one like, nah, you know, I ain't feeling it, or I ain't gonna do it. So that's why I'm saying it kind of comes back to what Tina wants, what Tina gets. So I think
the fact, I'm sorry to cut you off, and the fact that Erica was with her throughout the year already.
Yes.
So that's another reason why I'm like, you know what? Do your thing. Go shine. I'll see you when you come back, because you've been with me through the year.
Correct.
One day, yes, it's the wedding, but you know what? It's okay. We got videos.
Absolutely.
That's why we got videographers.
Exactly. So I think we're the same in the sense, and I think probably most people would be like, handle your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, now you can't just be at home or whatever. But I mean, the fact, I do think it's great to show though that they do have a great sisterly bond. And she, you know, didn't do it. She said she thought about it, she prayed about it, and she decided to stay and missed the opportunity to be there for her sister.
Yeah.
So
question: what happened to the bombshell?
Bombshell.
The bombshell of, you know, Teddy. Sister to Sister magazine.
Oh,
did you forget too?
I did.
I was watching it, and I'm saying,
I did.
What happened?
I did. They didn't even touch
they didn't touch on
anymore.
And I know this happened a while ago, you know, just for the sake of the show. We're just following along. But I was waiting for them, because normally when they do a recap, it starts right where it ended,
left off.
Following week, and it didn't.
The only thing I can think of is they wanted to really focus on the renewing of the vows or the marriage or what have you. And so I think if either that's why they cut it, because it turned out to be nothing, or they're going to bring it back later. Like they wanted to focus on the renewing of the vows, because if you think about it, it would be great TV.
Right.
If here they are, you know, they renew their vows, they're on their honeymoon, because we see they're going to be on their honeymoon next, getting it in, and all of a sudden they come back, and then boom, this hits. Teddy may be having to get on the way. You know what I'm saying? That just is going to make for great TV. So that's the only thing I can think of, is that they're holding it until afterwards and letting it, you know, letting her find out or her, you know, because none of them were going to say anything at this point. You're not going to ruin the wedding. So I think if they end up telling her, it's going to be after, or if she finds out, it's going to be after. One or the other.
Well, you know, I was waiting to read the comments. A lot of people, you know, didn't comment. They think they were beating up on Tina so much.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear what you guys thought. Would you tell? Would you not tell? You know, would you or if you do, are you going to say before the wedding, or are you going to say after the wedding?
Right.
You know, I remember you said, "Well, I don't know. You should tell. You should wait."
I said I would talk to Teddy and let him put it on him. That's what I said, because I don't want to be the bearer of the bad news or be the one like to ruin anything, or you didn't, you know, I will put it on him and let him do what he needs to do.
Right. Well, you know, I was like, where is the bombshell? I'm waiting, and then nothing.
Got us. I totally had forgotten about that.
Man.
I thought another thing that was interesting is that we dealt a lot with Teddy's father. And, you know, the whole situation with, you know, him having to go by the hotel or what have you. And then there was nothing. He was at the wedding. But there was no discussion of him. There was no, you know, he was just there. And so the only thing I can think of, again, going back, is they really wanted to focus on the drama. They really wanted to bring Mitch back and bring that into that episode. And also, you know, the dialogue and the banter that happened between him and Gugu and him, mainly him and Erica. And then with him and his wife. Because that's the first time I remember seeing his wife. I don't think
I haven't seen her either.
But I think they really wanted to focus on him and kind of bringing his character back and seeing how he's going to fit in and all these kinds of things. But he has, I mean, that guy, I mean, to sue somebody and then, you know, talk about, I mean, just all the things that he supposedly has done. And then like, yeah, I'm be at the wedding. Hey, turn up.
Well, yeah, why even come? Why are you coming?
Exactly. Obviously, he was invited, but still, it's like, why would you put yourself? But that just shows where he is. He feels like I've done no wrong.
He needs to be on TV, in my personal opinion. I agree with you on that. He needs a little bit of airtime.
Yeah, he needs airtime, and he feels like I've done no wrong, so I have nothing to be sorry about. I'm not sorry for anything I've done. I gave you #1, or I helped you get #1 albums. If anything, you should be sorry to me or whatever. So anyway.
Bye, Mitch. That's what I have to say. Let me know what your predictions are. Let's go into predictions.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Right before I give my prediction, I do want to ask you this.
Yes. Ooh, I like questions. Ask me.
Yeah.
All right.
Mitch was very adamant when he was talking to Erica about, you know, Tina, you know, and her bringing out an album and everything. And he kept saying that he feels her album would be better or do better as far as like numbers or what have you, because he feels like she's a bigger presence on stage when it's the both of them. So he feels like because she kind of outshines Erica on stage, it would be the same in the form of an album. What do you think about that?
All right, let me think. Well, you know what? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But Tina has more personality.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
Now, does she outshine her? I don't think so. I mean, her voice is a little stronger.
Sure. Well, she's a soprano.
Right.
She's higher range.
Right.
Yes.
I do agree with that. And she just has more personality. She's just more fun, you know, but I don't think that it's part of being outsell because, you know, you never know. That's just my personal opinion.
I just was curious because he was very, and I think more of that was, again, like a nudge at Erica to get under her skin and to kind of get her riled up, like, oh, she'll kill you in the box office.
But to get in her head, to psychologically trip her out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
I just think it's just more personality.
Yeah.
But you know, when you see Erica perform, she goes hard solo.
Oh, she does.
But she didn't go. I have not personally seen her go hard like that as Mary Mary.
Well, she's with Tina.
Right,
so.
exactly. So being solo brought out a whole different person. I mean, she's swinging her hair and she's just holding the mic and she's just going hard.
She has to hold it down.
Exactly.
She has to hold it down.
Exactly. So that's why I think, wait a minute, it's in her.
Right.
But she just didn't do it as much in Mary Mary. And Tina was more of the outspoken, clowning, joking. Even when she was pregnant, she'll talk about stuff and be honest and everything like that.
Right.
So that's probably where he's getting that from. But don't underestimate Erica because she'll bring it.
Oh yeah,
she'll bring. You know what I mean? I mean to Mitch, not to you, but you know what I'm saying, because she'll bring it.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean she stood her ground. I thought she handled the situation with them between them two very well, and she was like, okay, I'm done with this conversation, because he was being a jerk. He was being a jerk. He was trying to get under her skin, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And she saw it for what it was. She's like, all right, I'm out of here. You know, there's no point in talking to
having
you.
This conversation.
So anyway, but
thanks for the question. I like that.
Oh, absolutely. But predictions wise, I do think that situation that happened, what we were just talking about, the whole Teddy maybe having a baby, I think that's going to come back. I think it's going to come back at an opportune time where it's going to open up.
When they come back from the honeymoon.
I think so.
They're going to use it then.
Either right after or shortly after, or at some point, because I just can't see them having that big of a deal and then just letting it go.
Right.
I just can't see that happening. So I think that's going to come back in some way or another. I don't think it's true. I think it's something that's just kind of going to be a sense of drama, and then, you know, it's going to be dispelled, and then that's it. So I do think that, I think, of course, this isn't the last we've seen of Mitch. I think this is just the beginning. And however, I do not think that Tina will work with him. I can't see that, only because even though Tina is about doing her thing and everything, she still is very family oriented. And if she knows that Erica, it would be unhappy and it would affect the situation with Warren and like my block and all of that stuff, I can't see her working with him just for the sake of working with him. So those are my predictions.
I like your predictions. I agree with them.
They're
and
amazing.
I have a prediction. I think Warren's going to go ham on Mitch.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna come out.
Oh,
I think my block in Inglewood's gonna come out.
He's definitely brewing.
Yes,
He's definitely. I mean, because you saw him like when Eric goes, I gotta talk to you.
Even though I said what I said earlier, I still think
yeah.
that there's gonna be an episode and a moment where he just gets caught up in his emotion.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's not like he hasn't told him off before. He's told him off before on a couple of different occasions.
He has, but he's always been calm.
He's been calm, but he's put him in his place, basically. Like, nah, son, this is my family. You can't be talking to them like that. They're not one of your kids. They're not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's definitely put him in his place. So I can see him doing that again.
Yeah.
I can't see going any further than that. He may be a little more aggressive, you know,
I
or
think,
just be like,
I think it's going to come out.
it needs to end. But yeah, I definitely think before the season is over, he will be having a discussion with him. If he keeps, you know, hanging out.
Right.
And trying to kind of be in the mix and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I see Warren. I think I see another
Yeah.
side of Warren about
Yeah.
to come out.
It's going to hit him with a block.
Right. That's my predictions.
Yeah.
That's your predictions.
That's me.
And I think we wrapped it up.
We did.
I love this show.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Email me. Well, not email me. Email me.
Email Ashida. Email her right
It's
now.
11:30. I'm tired.
I'm telling you, man. Dude, some coffee
Make
in
sure
these
you
mugs.
go on YouTube, comment. You know, if you can. I'm tired. What am I
Yeah.
saying? Twitter.
Twitter.
Yes.
Twitter.
Epic fail at this moment. At Ashida Onrae, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Yes, and you can find me. Lim Gonsalvez is my name, and Mary Mary Shows is my game. No,
Right.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Poet Saint all day, every day.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.